Hello, empowered educators. Welcome back to the Empowered Educator Show. I'm your host, Dr. Mel, and today I'm going to be talking about something that every single leader needs to master, and that's discernment. Not just knowing what's a good idea, but knowing what's a good idea for your school right now and for long-term planning. Because listen, I love leadership books. I love great podcasts, especially educational podcasts. And I love hearing what other principals and superintendents are trying. But the truth is, if you try to implement every idea that you hear, you're going to end up tired, your staff is going to end up confused, and your building is going to end up with 47 half-finished initiatives floating around the parking lot. I've been there. You've probably been there. You might be there right now. We're not doing that anymore, guys. Today, I'm going to break down how to filter the advice that you take in so you only implement what actually moves the needle for your school, your staff, and your season. Let's get started. Hi, friend. Are you ready to move into a leadership position? Do you have interests and ambitions that you want to pursue, but feel like you don't know how to take that next step? Maybe you want to start your own coaching or consulting agency. I'm Mel, and I help educators define their career path through correct mindset, knowing your options, and getting prepared for your career transition. I will show you how to level up your leadership skills, share your expertise in a new way, create impact on a larger scale, and put your leadership in motion. As an educator for over 20 years, I started to feel underused and like I had more to give. I knew when the time had come for me to leave the classroom and affect change on a larger level. Now, I'm ready to help you determine where your talents and skills mesh with your passions and interests. Put your leadership in motion and move into that next phase of your educational career journey. Let me help you define your career path by having the right mindset, knowing your options, and getting prepared for that next leadership position. So power up and put your leadership in motion. Guys, you know that I love going to professional development. I love hearing podcasts. I love reading books, I don't have a lot of time just to sit down and read anymore. But I consume a copious amount of books while I'm traveling or commuting back and forth between work and when I go to conferences or when I drive home for the weekend. And it's so much information. We're constantly, as educators, consuming information. Different professional development, conferences, those leadership books that you love, social media. I've seen someone come under fire recently for social media posts. Podcasts, and just talking to other educators, other principals, other superintendents. We're getting great ideas. And all of these people are telling you the top 10 things that every school should do, or the system that changed everything. I constantly get unsolicited emails for great programs that I need to check out because it's going to help solve all my problems. And I'm not saying that they're not great. Some of them probably would be fantastic for my context, my problem, my pain point, but not all of them. And some of them may be fantastic or great for your building, but not all of them. The danger is what I call trend chasing leadership. That's when you hear something today, you try to implement it tomorrow, and then next week you're on to something else because another principal said it's game changing, or you don't see results right away. And you know what they say, if everything is a priority, then nothing is a priority. When you try to implement everything, it actually weakens your impact. You're spreading your energy thin. Your staff can't follow that bouncing ball or that moving target. They also get tired of volunteering or trying to do new things because they're trying to learn the last thing that you told them to do. And this is where that discernment comes in. You need to pause long enough to ask, is this right for us right now? And can we implement it long term, long enough that we can see if it's actually going to work? So let's talk about how you actually do that. How do you filter through all of those ideas instead of taking more stuff on when you're already at max capacity? I'm going to give you a series of questions that you can ask yourself every time you hear a new strategy. And principals, these questions, they're gold. So write these down somewhere, maybe in your leadership journal or wherever you take notes. Just don't lose them. So here we go. Number 1, does this align with your mission, your vision, and your top priorities for this school year? If the strategy doesn't move you closer to your core work, it's just noise, guys. Even if it's the most brilliant idea that you've ever heard and you know it's going to work, or even if the school down the street is doing it, make sure it aligns with your mission, vision, and your priorities for this year before you even think about it. Number 2, is my staff actually ready for this? Not just can they do it, but do they have the emotional bandwidth, the capacity, the morale to do it? Because you can have the best ideas in the world, but if your people aren't ready, it's going to fall flat, guys, or you're going to be doing the bulk of the work. Number 3, do we have the systems in place to support this new initiative? Some ideas, they sound simple until you realize they require some new scheduling or a lot of new training or a new communication system or some more monitoring tools. You need structure before strategy. And guys, some of these things are coming from my own experience this year as a new superintendent. And I realized that my staff didn't have the capacity for some of the things that I was asking them to do. And we didn't have some great systems in place for some things. And we're working on getting those systems in place first before we take on some other new initiatives. Number 4, and this is a big one that we don't always think about. Does this solve a real problem that we currently have? Or is it that shiny new toy that you open, you play with for a little while, and then you put it in the closet because you don't want it anymore? It's too much work. If it's not filling a gap in your school, guys, let it go. And I would sing to you, but you probably don't want to hear that. Number 5, is this the right timing? Sometimes the idea is right, but the season is wrong or the timing is wrong. Great ideas fail when timing is off. So if it's a great idea, wait for the right time to implement it. Number 6, do I understand the full scope of the work? Not just the excitement, because that excitement is going to be there in the beginning. And it's not just about the outcome either. It's about that daily grind in between the inception and the outcome. What do you have to do to get the outcome that you are expecting? If you don't fully understand the lift from the beginning, don't commit your staff to it, guys, because they're going to rebel. And if they do rebel, your new job may be pushing carts down at the local Walmart. Number 7, what am I willing to pause, stop, or slow down to make room for this new initiative? Because principals, you're not just adding new things for fun, because not all of the initiatives are going to be fun. And your plate's already full, your teachers' plates are already full. So if nothing can come off of the plate, you probably shouldn't add anything new. Number 8, do we have the right people to champion this? Every initiative needs leaders, and it can't always be you. As much as you would like it to be, you can't take on the lead of every single thing happening in your building. So you need more than just the approval of your staff. You need people who are actually willing to do it. Because I have seen that recently. Everybody's excited about doing something until the work happens. And then it's like crickets. You can't find anybody. They're ghosting you. And if you don't have those champions, it's going to die. Your new initiative is going to die before it ever gets off the ground. Number 9, do we have data that shows we need this? Don't forget about your data, guys. Feelings are great. Anecdotes are helpful. But data is going to tell you the truth, whether you need it or not. If the new idea or the new initiative isn't backed by a real need, it's not the right move. Question 10, does this fit who I am as a leader? If the strategy requires you to pretend to be someone that you're not, it's not sustainable. Leadership is already hard enough, guys. Don't add misalignment of your personal values on top of it. I've had to turn down a couple of things this year that might have been great for the school, but they didn't align with who we were as a school, and they didn't align with who I am as a person. When you model true discernment, your teachers are going to feel it, but you have to include them in that process. You start saying things like, that's a great idea, but not right now. We're staying focused on our priorities, or we're going deeper, not wider, or we're protecting our teachers' capacity. They will appreciate it. And when you do that, your school becomes more grounded in its values and grounded in that mission and vision. It becomes more stable. Everything becomes more aligned, and it's way less chaotic. Because clarity and discernment are the best gifts that you can give to your team. All right, leaders, let me leave you with this. You don't have to try every single thing that you hear or that you see. Facebook is notorious for popping things up in your feed, especially, I kind of feel like Big Brother really is listening, because I'll be talking about something and then it pops up in my Facebook feed. It's kind of creepy. But there are so many great ideas popping up, and you cannot be drawn to that shiny new toy syndrome. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses or every other principal in your area or what every other principal on Facebook is doing. And you definitely don't need another initiative to prove that you're leading well. Lead the things you're already doing well first. You need clarity, you need alignment, and you need some intentionality, leaders. And you need the courage to say, that's a great idea, but not for us right now. And sometimes that takes pushing back even against your board members who all have great ideas or initiatives that they would like to see, but they don't always think about it being in alignment with the mission, vision, and goals of the district or your building for the year. That's real leadership, guys. All right, empowered leaders. That's the episode for today. If this hits home, please share it with another school leader who needs the reminder. And as always, keep leading with purpose and stay empowered. Bye-bye.